We are live.
All right.
All right. So yeah, how are things going this week?
Yeah. We hired on our new sales rep who's like an A player. He used to work with Larry Doozy. You know
Oh,
that?
cool.
Yeah. And yeah, he's already made two sales, like pretty much like I think out of his first three calls. And
Nice.
and the first call was just like a test call with like a low quality lead. So like basically his first two actual leads were both closes. So it's like just like really reiterates like the difference between an A player and a B player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only that, but he wants to he's kind of like an entrepreneur himself. So like he also is he's creating this like when he worked with Sunny, he created this system of basically how to like he showed us like this graph of like what happens when you just decrease the no-show rate from like by 5%, like the amount of increase in revenue that can bring in. And so he has like this system how to basically, excuse me, decrease the no-shows percentage from like his no-show rate was like 6%.
Mhm.
It's like,
Really?
yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
one of the things one of,
6%?
one of the things he did so there's a lot of things he did, but one of the things he did on our call that we spoke together was he had a custom video that he sent to all the like was automatically sent to every lead, that someone who scheduled a call with him saying like, hey, my name's Justin, this is what I do, I'm so excited to help you, like make sure you schedule like, and that custom video in the email, kind of like using those like StreamYard videos, basically
Yeah.
like that. It's like, because like let's say they see my VSL, like, oh, I'm gonna speak with Josh, and then they're like, oh, you're gonna speak with Justin at this time. That makes a little bit of a disconnect with some people, I think, or he does.
Right.
And so sending a custom video of your sales rep saying what they do, how they're going to help you, and they're excited and all this stuff, like really decreases the no-show rate.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. Wow. That's great. Like getting that no-show rate down that low.
Yeah, he did it with Sunny, so he's so far it's
Yeah.
been people have been showing up for him, so we'll see if that continues. Um, yeah, so and we're hoping that like we don't think he's going to stay for this long term. We think he just wants to come in and like learn a little bit, teach us some stuff, help us implement some systems, and then but like hopefully we learn a lot from him. So that's exciting as a win. And update. And then I'm looking for another therapist because one of our other coaches, he wants to kind of like same situation. He's like an A player, but he just want he kind of wants to start doing his own thing. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
he's his words, he wants to be on like on our level, and I'm kind of like conflicted because part of me thinks if we if I so Marco and I debated this, like if I were to able to like give him more creative control over some stuff, like in terms of collaborating on maybe like a different product that he can help maybe get a percentage of profit of through the company, or like I know how RSD, they had their like coaches had their own YouTube channel, right? Like
Right.
kind of set something up like that. I believe if you create an environment for an employee that's like really beneficial and kind of they're able to have that creative control, like they won't want to leave. And Marco wasn't on board for that because he was coming from a place more of like competition and like scarcity, I would say. And so I don't know, like I'm kind of conflicted about that. I want to know your thoughts on that, Ark. Like if you were working with a coach and like he wanted to do something like that, would you be like, nah, this is my complete thing. You can do your own thing, or where do you sit with that?
I guess it depends on how quality is this guy? Like, is this someone who has grown your company and will continue to grow your company?
So in his role, he was just a coach, right? So like we didn't even give him the opportunity to start doing things outside of that role.
But whether you give him the opportunity or not, did he start doing things outside of that role on it? You see what I'm saying? That's
So yeah, he was kind of in his coaching, he was developing this system of like basically for the dating guys, basically like a social circle game kind of program, and he was starting to develop that, and he was implementing it with his clients, and it was getting pretty good results. Um, I don't know, like maybe he could have been forward and been like gave us more ideas, but like I don't know. I mean,
I
maybe
wouldn't. Yeah.
maybe he could have gone further with it.
I mean, I wouldn't invest in someone like giving them basically ownership or even, a big stake in the business unless they've already contributed to growing the business. Because can you like, to me, product fulfillment is sort of the last thing. Like you get, well, I guess, what I'm trying to say is he replaceable? If he's replaceable, then he's not a critical part of your business. Then you probably don't need to, do, let him become a bigger part of that business. Because and the reason why is because there's a huge risk involved. I think is like, what if he still goes out on his own, but then he's got a large part of your business and proprietary systems that he's helped create and takes some of those with him and the clients, but if he's already expressed that interest. But if he's already helped grow the business, if he's already been an entrepreneur in the business, then I think that's different. But I mean, I guess what it comes down to is he replaceable or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to replace him right now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. I mean, probably. It's not a matter if someone's replaceable. It's just like, what's the likelihood you can find someone that is at that level? Like, and how long would it take? I think everyone,
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that.
I mean, at the end of it, he's a coach in your fulfillment, right? He isn't really doing any marketing or sales or anything like that.
No, we didn't. He wanted to start doing sales, and we didn't want him to.
Yeah. And does he make a percentage of the sales, or it's just more of?
No, he doesn't, because he's not involved. He's hourly for the coaching clients. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's. I mean, just fulfillment people are easier to find than marketing and sales people, to be honest. Fulfillment is an easier job to do, especially like maybe him leaving will trigger you to create more systems and processes to have for your coaching staff, or how to onboard them, how do you get them to do their very best and all of those things. But yeah, if he's not really involved with higher level functions of the business, then he is truly expendable.
Yeah, that's a good point, you guys. The last thing I wanted to share with you guys and maybe get feedback on is kind of higher level strategic thinking, and knowing like when to continue with the project and when not to, like how to set up those KPIs. Like as an example, I think we're spread too thin personally. I brought this up last week, I think, John. But with all the different social media platforms and the 3 different programs we have, I really do think it's kind of more of a detriment that we're not focusing on one thing and making it work. Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to figure out like, how do we determine what strategy is best? Right now, we are going with the marriage program because the market is, the customer on average has more money. The need is there. So we're kind of doubling down on that right now. But like, I don't know, like, I guess I just want feedback on like, how would you guys, like, if you were to come into the business as like a consultant, like, how would you assess like what we should cut off and what we should focus on?
Yeah, what's the product and the media channel that's working?
Say that again.
What's the product and what's the marketing channel that's working? You're going to do more.
Historically, it's been 40%. So 80% has been from organic YouTube, and then Facebook ads for the marriage program. And organic YouTube tends to be just the quitting porn program. There's a couple dating sales here and there, but mostly the quitting porn.
Okay, so let me ask it a different way. What's the product and marketing channel associated with it that's creating the most revenue? Like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, if you could like.
Yeah. So it's last month, it was pretty evenly split with Facebook ads to the marriage program, YouTube organic to the dopamine discipline quitting porn program. This month is going to lean more towards the marriage program.
But if you look at the last 1 year, maybe that's a better.
Last 1 year, 100%. It's been, well, like we were using a lot of not last year, like the first half of the year, the first 6 months, if you look from the last year to date, we were getting majority of our revenue from the webinar for dopamine discipline, the quitting porn program, but that stopped working.
And you were running Facebook ads to it?
No, we were doing YouTube ads only.
YouTube. Okay, but you're doing paid.
It's hard to target quit porn on Facebook ads. We get banned.
Yeah.
YouTube organic is what was getting that more than ads?
The first part of the year, I think we're still, if I remember correctly, it could be incorrect, but I think it was more the ads in the webinar. And then, yeah, it started to shift more towards organic YouTube, and then that stopped getting views. So,
well, let me ask this really important question. What's your goal? To make more money, to enjoy what you're doing more, to fulfill a purpose? I mean, I know there's like joint goals, but if you said like what's your overall overarching goal right now, like the highest priority goal, what would it be?
I mean, it just recently shifted. If you asked me literally 2 days ago, it would be a different answer, John. But right now, it's make money.
Okay, well, good. I mean, I think that's a good goal. Like, there's no shame in that. In that case, I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, I would say that the clear answer is whatever you are able to profitably run paid advertising to, because that scales. It's a controllable scale, where YouTube is not a controllable scale, right? So if right now, you know, you're able to run paid advertising to the marriage program and do it profitably, then if you dropped everything else, and let's just look in a hypothetical world, because it's going to be hard to like really imagine this, because I'm sure that's not what you want to do. But I mean, hypothetically, if you wanted to make the most profit possible, right? If you dropped everything else and you just focused on the marriage program and getting the ads better and getting the funnel better and the delivery better and offering even, you know, and getting more clients into that funnel, if you 10x your efforts on that, I mean, you would have a clear result if that was all that you were focused on.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that's, I mean, we're slowly doing that. Like, we are shifting more focus into the marriage offer. This week, I've recorded like 6 new ads yesterday. I'm rewriting the email sequence. That's been on my, so that's the top of priority. So we are kind of doing that. It's just, it sucks, man. Cause like,
yeah, I know.
I love YouTube and I want it to like succeed, and like we're putting so much energy and effort into that too. And like, I know it's only been 2 videos for the newest editor, but like the most recent one, it performed like 6 out of 10 out of the past 10 videos. And I'm like, it was so well done. Like, I just don't understand. So yeah, that's what's frustrating.
But that's why I asked what your goal was, right? Because if your goal is to make money, then clearly, you know, that's the thing that that is going to make the most money.
But the problem with something like that is if the goal is not in alignment with where your heart's at,
right,
it's going to be hard to pull that goal or make that goal happen too, because you're going to constantly find yourself double guessing yourself every single move, every step of the way. You're not going to enjoy the journey. You're going to, yeah. So it's a challenge, man, what you're going through right now.
Yeah, it is a challenge, up and down.
It's a combination of what's making you money and what you're excited about, which is sometimes hard to kind of intersect.
Yeah, which it was working, but then like, I'm just such a, like, I'm reading this book called Rocket Fuel. Have you guys heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. It like perfectly describes Marcos and our relationship. And like, I wish I read it a long time ago, but like, it was like, they were like reading what the visionary traits are. And it was like, gets bored easily. I'm like, what? I'm like, fuck, that's me. Cause like, even when like dopamine discipline was working really well, I'm like, okay, I'm bored of like helping guys feel poor now. Now I want to do something else. You know what I mean? It's like working. And then it's like, oh, I step away from that a little bit and we go into the marriage offer, and then like dopamine discipline starts to like go down. I'm like, fuck. You know?
But, and I've done that. Yeah.
So the question is, was it because the webinar just stopped working? Is that like the paid media to webinar stopped working? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. We weren't turning a profit off that anymore.
Did you try some other marketing angle, like some other marketing
on the webinar?
Like a challenge? No, not necessarily webinar, but a challenge or something.
Well, that's when we started doing the Instagram strategy, because we saw it with the competitor that was working for him. So we started implementing that, and we've gotten
Instagram
like the Instagram strategy. So like the paid promotions, the DM to the sales call, we've gotten 2 sales off that in this whole month. It's not that good. I know it's like you said, John, like it's like you build that upward momentum to get to that higher, the more subscribers, you know, it grows. But yeah.
You got 2 sales for the marriage program?
No, for the dopamine discipline program via, via Instagram strategy.
What price point for those sales?
So one was like a lower end payment, like a 6-month split payment. And then the other guy actually paid like the full amount just for the straight course, which was
how much is the full amount?
For just a straight course, he paid $1,500 for it.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad, but the marriage is like 5K.
Yeah, 5K.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, here's something also to think about this, right? You can really love anything that you choose to love, right? So it is true that, you know, that the marriage program and whatnot, like that might not be in alignment with where your heart is, like man is saying, but you could also shift your, you know, I mean, um, because and here's the thing is like you can get obsessed about making better Facebook ads and about the business part of increasing the funnel and watching your emails do better and the sequencing and all those little pieces. Like you can become obsessed about that. That can be the video game that you play, is like tweaking all of those numbers and getting excited about that. And that's, you know, that can be the outlet for, you know, even though like YouTube and creating this content and that creative aspect of it has been the thing that you want, like you could shift it if you want to and do that and focus on those things. I mean, I you know, I give you an example, you know, that's unrelated to this, but with running, right? So I used to hate running, absolutely used to hate running, right? And then I just did more and more of it. And then, but once I got into it, like got into the world of it and read about it and like obsessed about it and started running marathons and training, now I love running. Now it's something I'm obsessed about. Like I want to like learn all these things and read books about it. And that because I made that shift. So you can like choose to, it's almost like, you know, Cal Newport's book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, right? That's a really good book. But one of the key things he says in there is he's like, you know, it's basically, it's like, don't follow your passion, which we all know that, but it's more like you bring passion to the thing. Like after you know, you obsess about a thing, passion automatically comes from being obsessed about that thing. So, but it's a choice. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could give myself the same type of talk, except my goals are a little bit different. My top goal isn't 100% to make money. It's up there, but at least right now, but maybe it should be. I mean, I could be, and maybe I should be, I'm talking to myself here, but with that said, it's like, if this is the path that you're going, it's better to not have one foot on the dock and one foot in the boat. It's better to just be 100% in the boat and sail this ship. Because I know that if you put 100% of your effort into the marriage program and the paid advertising to getting that work, that you'll get the results that you want from a financial perspective. And you know that as well. So it's, if something's stopping you from doing it, it's because you're not 100%, like Manny was saying, your heart is not aligned with the, so you either have to get your heart aligned or you have to shift or accept the suboptimal. But I think also the one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately too, is that no matter what it is, right? If you're split, if you're not 100% focused on the thing, then even if your heart is aligned with the thing, it's going to feel stressful and like a mess. And you're not going to feel the fulfillment that you do when you're just into one thing. So another path is to just say, screw it. The marriage stuff is more profitable. I like it. It's fine, but I don't like it. So I'm just going to go 100% into the dopamine discipline thing and just focus 100% on that and nothing else. That's another path. And it could be a profitable path as well. I think it would be a profitable path. It's not as straightforward. It has more risk. It's not clearly the way to make the most money, but you know, you could still get there on that path. So
yeah, I'll wrap up. That's for me. That's enough time for me. Thank you guys.
Yeah, sorry to crush your dreams.
I crush myself all the time on email. So
no, but I'm stuck in the same place.
All of us are stuck in the same place, more or less. Because okay, so I'll go next. Just talking, building on what Josh was talking about here. I mean, our job is to have one avatar that we serve with one very specific kind of transformation that we're trying to give. Like, I don't think we should get into very broad transformations, because that's always a recipe for failure and like too much. It just like it creates too much of, I can do everything, that means I can do shit for you, more or less what happens for people, right? So we have to get narrow with our transformation, and we have to get narrow with the people we want to serve. So the more clearly defined our audience or our avatar is, the better it is to serve, the easier it is to serve. And John and I know a couple of friends of ours in the podcasting or in the tech podcasting space who are like, one of them has a lot, like has so much, like he's got it all, like all the different programming languages you can dream of. He has a podcast on it and it's huge in every one of those. And his business is doing kind of sort of okay. Like, I don't know the exact numbers today, but then the other guy, he does only one thing and very small niche.
Yeah.
Like if you look at what the other friend does, it's like maybe 100th or maybe 1,000th of that niche size. If you think of like how big that niche is that the program, like my friend, our mutual friend has compared to what the other friend has, he has 1,000th of that niche, and his business is at least 10 times bigger than the other guy's business.
Yeah.
And that guy is my coaching client, so he's in my mastermind. And that's the only thing I preach him, like just stay with one thing, don't mess around with trying to do too many things all the time. And like that avatar, like not having clearly defined avatar really hurts across the board in business, because then you don't know how to serve them. And when you're trying to serve 2 masters or 3 masters, you serve none. Kind of what happens, right? So I've been thinking, like I've been in this boat where you're at right now, which is, or I am still in that boat, because I have Focus Blocks and Quantum Leap. And I love Focus Blocks. Focus Blocks is like, I love the kind of results we get. Quantum Leap is amazing too. We got great results from it. But Focus Blocks is like the thing I want to really drive. And I love like talking about it, creating and like marketing around it and all of that stuff. And Quantum Leap, even though it sells so much easier and it makes more money in terms of overall profitability, I just can't get myself to like making that the forefront of my business. I can't. So I still keep going back to Focus Blocks, even though it's been a year of trying to figure out how to sell it properly. More or less a year of trying to figure out how to sell it properly. And the most like I've tried everything: sales page, long form sales page, short form sales page, webinar, live webinar, automated webinar, all sorts of variations of webinar. And just last weekend, I ran another variation of webinar on Focus Blocks, and I had like 29 people who attended live, and 17 saw the offer, and then 7 bought that trial. So I offered a trial this time.
That's good.
Yeah, a trial. So it was like literally selling them for an hour and a half, and then a $1 trial, followed by 7 days later they get charged $1,000. So they have 2 options: either they get charged $1,000 or they get charged $200 for a month, or $1,000 for the year.
Interesting. Yeah, I think with trials like that, the kind of the industry standard rate is about a 50%. Right. So you probably will end up with 3 sales out of that for the webinar,
which is perfect. Which is still good, because it's the webinar I can automate. I don't need to be on it.
I think part of the answer, right, and I took notes on what you said at the beginning, because I'm actually going to start implementing this too, I think, because what you said at the beginning was about serving the specific avatar, right? And so what I wrote down was, I said, well, narrow the transformation people serve. So for me, I said people that are making 100K plus, ready to invest in real estate, or build a business, or already have a business. And I might even narrow it down further than that, but that might be actually the answer to your problem as well, which is, if you can figure out what are the kind of people that are automatically going to buy a Focus Blocks when they hear about it. Is it people that are obsessed with productivity? Is it people that are, some job niche some vocation? Are they making a certain amount of money? I think if you can figure out those psychographics and demographics, and then pick out the one and exclude everyone else, right? Because I've been afraid to exclude everyone, right? And then actually, I also saw, I was going through Max Turnov's Instagram Reels course. It's good. And in there, he was also he had a little plug for his other business stuff. And I noticed he had segmented his offering. So he was like, if you're making 0 to 10K, this is the program for you. And then he's like, this Instagram Reels kind of falls in between here. And then he's like, if you're making 10 to 30K a month, this is the program for you. If you're making 30K plus, this is the program for you. So he's actually said, you know, which makes, you know, making that strata, which is the same thing, you know, you can do, but, you know, or all of us can do. But yeah, but it might be for you just focusing on a specific, like exclude a whole bunch of people, right? And just say, all right, we know like this person, this type of person, they always buy, right? Yeah. I know if I get this is my hot lead. So only market to the hot lead, right? Yeah. And again, this is what I need to do as well. But when you said that, it made it clear to me.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. This is the conversation we had at that Indian restaurant back in December when we were talking about your offer, remember?
Yeah.
You were saying, hey, I should sell them a boot camp. And I was like, no, you shouldn't even entertain people who need a boot camp. And you should only sell to people who are making 6 figures, because then it's a different game altogether. There's the same idea here. I realize like my best customers are who are online entrepreneurs making 6 figures, because for them, their time is valuable enough that this is a much easier investment compared to someone else. There are other people we serve and I get great results from them, software developers, like other kinds of entrepreneurs. But online entrepreneurs are people I understand and easily relate to, so it's easy to write for them and explain to them what's happening in their business or how they're trying. And the other part of the equation is the transformation continues on. So because Focus Blocks is the starting point of the transformation, which is like how to double your hourly productivity with 0 additional effort on your part, with 0 extra effort on your part. That's one, right? Number 2, Quantum Leap is how to double your results, or how to get 3 months of results in the next 1 month. This is Quantum Leap. And then the third level is my mastermind, which will be more of how to create much higher leverage in your business through, and so level 1, hourly leverage. Level 2 is more like accountability / monthly, like leverage at a more granular scale. And then the highest level is more of my mastermind, where I can help them scale their business. So that's how I see this right now. But I still want to drive Focus Blocks. I don't want to drive the third level right now. I'm gonna keep driving this damn thing till I figure it out. Like, God, man, it really fucking pisses me off so much that I haven't been able to sell it as aggressively as I would love to. Like, I've tried every fucking thing under the sun to sell it now. No, not everything, but a lot. But the challenge is the only thing remaining. But I've tried so much now.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is I think that, again, you know, I'm kind of thinking about this for myself as well. But if you have the right type of lead, if you've marketed to the right person, whatever you do is going to work to sell it to them. It doesn't matter, right? If I've got someone who is, you know, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here, but like, I'll give it. Here's a good analogy. Here is actually I'm going to buy this product. So this company, I just saw this advertisement a few months ago. It's called Speed, SPEEDE Fitness, and it's a weightlifting machine like that uses science to basically you know, control the contraction so that you can basically do a full body workout in 10 minutes, right? But it uses the science involved. So a lot of people would be skeptical of that, right? But I've studied the science behind it. I understand why that works. So for me, like, if they find a guy like me, it doesn't matter. They don't have to sell, like, they don't have to have any kind of sales process. All they have to do is just present just say, I have this thing, right? It's like $4K, the price. I'm like, okay, $4K. Yeah, there you go. Bam. Right. I don't have to think about it. It's not like it's going to be bought automatically. Right. If you find the right person, you can get them on the webinar and they're sold in the first 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. They're just seeing the offer. So the closer it is to that, and I think that's the answer to all of our businesses, right? It's like the targeting is the most important, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to convince people. It's almost like the level of awareness, right? We're trying to convince people at the low level of awareness. We're getting this big net of people And so we're having to water down the message to bring them all along, where, you know, if we just put our focus on the exact kind of fish we're trying to catch with that lure, then we'll make those sales.
So
you don't need as many leads.
I'm sure there's lots of steps involved in this, but is one of the steps just changing your copying in the message of the market, the ads, to just basically assume they know the problem and like kind of like present it as like, here's just the product and here's what it does?
Well, here's
I think
a test I ran just this last week. Okay. Cause I was thinking about this a little bit. I sent an email to my simple programmer list because I was like, I want to just make a couple more sales for my well program at a low discounted price. Just ink out. I want to pay for I'm making a trip to Hawaii. I feel good about like bringing in some extra revenue from the business to pay for things. Like every time I have like a big expense, I try to like, let me do some extra effort that's not part of the normal business operations to do it. So this was one of those, like, it gives me a little chance to experiment, right? So I sent an email to the simple programmer list and I said, hey, I'm going to give a huge discount on my Well That Never Runs Dry program. It's like, you guys, if you haven't heard of it already, you could watch the video here, but most of you have probably already heard of it, right? So I'm already assuming that they've heard of it. I'm not telling them, pitching it, telling them what it is. And I said, here's what you have to do. You have to run 5 miles and send me a screenshot or some kind of proof of running 5 miles. You have to fill out this application form, and then you have to send me a picture of the last book you read and a quick summary about the last book you read, right? Every single person who did the challenge bought, because I made it. Because I know those people, if someone is willing to run 5 miles and do that, these are the people that are my people, right? And again, it's not as great of a test of, about the narrowing of the, but that's a way to do it. It was kind of my little test to see. And I was like, damn, like all of these people, these are committed people. Like I didn't have to sell them anything. I just sent them a link and like, they're going to buy it automatically because I made them jump to the hoop. I made it harder for them to get the program because I excluded everyone who was not willing to do that. So I didn't have to sell them. I was giving them something. They earned it.
Yeah, it's like going back to list, offer, and then copy, right? List 41, offer 39, and copy 20 in the scheme of things. It's not copy. We think copy is number one, but copy is last. But list is the number one. Like, who are we targeting is the number one. It's sometimes harder to do in advertising than we would like it to be, but yeah, that's targeting the right audience will automatically like make the offer much easier to sell.
So I mean, because we're thinking of shifting our customer avatar into like entrepreneurs a little bit down the road. So like, as far as like the targeting goes, like to build this list of entrepreneurs for yourself, Manny, like what's the strategy for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of in the Facebook ads, it's more of targeted, not just targeted. Targeting is still the same, like people who follow Brent Bouchard or Amy Porterfield or something like that. But in the copy, calling out like, hey, something along the lines of you making 6 figures and caught in an hamster wheel of working 24 hours a day to the point where you're making McDonald's salary even though you're making 6 figures. If that's you, let me help you. Something along those lines. Like those might be some of the angles to go after to talk to people who are 6-figure entrepreneurs, because for them, this is a very small investment for what they can get out of it compared to trying to sell to an early stage entrepreneur. It's not worth it for my time or for anything per se. And targeting them is much better for me. Like if I can do that kind of targeting, I'll see if that works with that kind of targeting, because the second level and the third level all align, because I can sell more and more. Like those are perfect candidates. Like people who are making 6-figure plus are perfect candidates for Quantum Leap, because they get results way faster than people who are just starting a business tomorrow, right? they're pretty bad customers compared to people who are already making money. And then same for my mastermind, like if someone's already making 250K, I can help them way faster than someone who's making 50K, and then I don't even take them. But
Right.
that's the key, right? So if I can continue to find those people, then I can serve them better. So yeah, in ads, copy is probably the first step for me. But even before that, I think I have to write a document of my customer avatar, and maybe all of us should do that exercise this week, right? Write a complete document, psychographic, demographic, all the questions I can think of. Who is this damn person, and what is the ultimate, results I can create for them, or step 1, step 2, step 3, and see if that aligns like completely. Like once that document is written, then I can write copy and I can write ads to talk to that person. So, yeah, I guess that's what I need to do. But yeah, I mean, so to kind of go back full circle on the conversation I started with, like I'm going to automate this webinar now because this actually works enough for me to go automated and go evergreen on it right now. And we'll see how that goes, because live shit is just too much. Like there's no way it just wasn't working, and it wasn't working in a scalable manner to the point where it would be useful. But this one has got no live component to it, so I'm going to evergreen it and run some advertising to it and get some data in the next few weeks.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. By the way, I found, like, I have this document from Copyhacker that I'll probably use to write my customer avatar all over again. It's like a 50-page document, 50-page PDF on writing a customer avatar. So I'm excited to fill that out all over again.
Are you able to send that to me or no?
Yeah, just send me an email. I'll figure it out. All right,
John.
All right, let me see what's been going on with me for this week. So let me see a couple of things. I hired a thumbnail designer guy. I think I talked about that last time a little bit, but he's working now, and I can actually show you guys what we're looking at here on A/B tests here. So he's running these A/B tests.
I can see chicks on your sitting on your chest, so that's already working. I tell you, man.
That one had a pretty good click-through rate, that one, but he's testing these ones. Like his thumbnails look a lot better, I think, than the original thumbnails for most of these. So we'll see how they end up doing. But
yeah.
But yeah, he'll be doing 15 new ones every single week.
These are all old videos you've already posted. They're just doing new thumbnails for them.
Yeah. So what he's doing too is he's basically like taking. So the strategy that we're using here is for videos every week. There's 3 new videos, right? So he's going to come up with for each one of those 2 thumbnail variations, and then after it's been a week for one of the new videos, then he'll use the second variation and A/B test that. So we'll be A/B testing all the new videos after 1 week, and then 15 of the old videos every week. So for example, this one has these 2, right, as the variations of it.
I mean, the bottom one's going to perform way better, obviously.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far, if we look at that one,
I mean, his mandate should be simple: find girls in bikinis and plaster them all over the place on thumbnail, and boom, you got CTRs through the zoo.
It's not always the best thing to do, though, because you have to look at the watch time, right? Because if people click off of the video because it's not what was advertised, then it's not going to do well. So yeah, so like this one, if we look at the analytics of this one.
But you're basing this off of CTR, right?
Well, I mean, this one had pretty high view, like it's definitely beating the typical performance. But I mean, I'm looking at, well, CTR started, where is it? 6.4. So it's a decent CTR, but it could be, I don't know why it's showing like 11% now. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Short duration of time.
yeah, we don't have enough data, but you know, I mean, obviously, like the what you want to see is a very high CTR at the top, and then it go down while the views go up ridiculously, because then it's showing it to wider audience. So we'll see. You know, it is possible that other thumbnail will beat this one, because this is not a ridiculously high CTR. I think when it first came out, I thought I saw the CTR at 8% or so, but yeah, we're running all of these tests, and so I think that should double the traffic for the channel over time, maybe even more, just by continually running these tests, right? We're not testing the titles. That might come down later down the road. Maybe I'll have a copywriter that just does that. But yeah, so, and then let me see what else was going on here. The paid ads, we stopped the paid ads because there was like a couple of calls from it, but it was misalignment. Like the people that jumped on the calls, it was coming to like around $200 a lead, I think, for the calls, for the book call. And then those people were not, they had no familiarity with me. So I think the sales process was not good. They also, you know, the guy that's running the paid ads was saying your salespeople need to call them as soon as they book, right? And start, you know, talking to them, as opposed to waiting for the time that they've scheduled, which I agree with. Like that, you know, we have to modify that sales process. So I think there's going to be some tweaking to get that thing working. We've got the Instagram. Oh, go ahead.
So talking about paid, you just have to let go of all of your organic assumptions when you go paid.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of, because what's going to work in organic may or may not always work in paid. It may actually, things may work better or worse when you go to paid. One of those is probably your sales page. It's just your landing page. It's not
exactly.
It's not. Nobody is using that kind of landing page for the kind of stuff you're trying to do right now. You literally, like, that page is not designed for conversions, for colds. You're doing, like, with organic, yeah, you can get away with murder, but with paid, that kind of landing page will confuse the audience. You're not going to get opt-ins. You're not going to get book calls as aggressively, right? So that's
well,
you guys need to fix.
Yeah, if we look at that landing page, like this is not, it's not good. This should not be. And this video is not good enough either. There was a variation of this where I thought he was sending people to, yeah, oh, I see. It's still being A/B tested. So this one should be, this is more.
But what's the landing page though?
This should be, I mean, both of these, or I just loaded one and then the other.
No, but what's the landing page?
From the ad to go to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not even an opt-in?
What do you mean? Not an email opt-in? You're saying it should be an email opt-in first, and then they get to the VSL.
Headline, email opt-in. Watch my free training.
Right.
How I became financially independent at 33, and I'm giving you my blueprint for that. I'm giving you my step-by-step blueprint. Let me show you my step-by-step blueprint for that, something like that. Title, opt-in, email. You're going to capture that email address for like 10, 11 bucks a pop, maybe 12, 15 if you don't have good advertising, but you're going to control it over time.
Follow up.
You're going to get the lead. Yeah, you're going to get the lead. You can even do name, email, and phone number for that.
Yeah.
You'll probably get it at 12. Well, I should not say my numbers, because 12 bucks in productivity is probably not the same as 12 bucks in financial. You'll probably get it at 15.
But here's what I have one this one that does it. Well, there's a popover here. It's just not showing because because of the cookies. But this one works that way.
Where is the landing page though?
This is the, there's a popover. Here, let me clear the cookie and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, but popover is not what's.
No, look, it blocks the, or what happened there? I put a dot in there. Hold on. So if someone goes to, I'm actually redesigning it. I've got some, I'm looking for a good ClickFunnels designer. You guys have a good ClickFunnels designer?
We hired one a while back. I can look up for you, but like he was okay.
See, that's, I keep on running into people who are okay.
Yeah.
Why is this
You'll
not?
be surprised what you can find on Fiverr.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just you have to be really specific on what you want, right?
Yeah, but you'll pay $100. You won't pay $5. You'll get
Okay,
good work.
here's how this works, right?
Just,
So
yeah, opt in.
so they have to put in their information. Oh, probably shouldn't have put that in there.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
but yeah, and the phone number is optional on this. And then when they click this,
Yeah, it's confusing. That's what this page is. It's not as clean as what you could do with just a simple landing page. You're gonna improve your costs, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because if on the opt-in page too, if you have like a couple testimonials in the bottom, I mean, you know this, John, right? Like how the opt-in pages, and they really sort out guys who are committed.
I need someone, and this is what I'm kind of thinking. I mean, I've got some that we're working on in ClickFunnels like that, but this is a separate offer than the main offer, right? This is more of the single, click on this page, then go to the next page, right? I just keep on putting that in there. Okay. And then this would be the video and then the sales.
Yeah. This design is not good right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I think what has to happen is that
could you simplify the design? That's like the simplest thing I could think of right now.
Well, I mean, all that has to happen, and I'm going to talk to sales guys on this, is before we even run ads or anything, is that the shit needs to be clean and just rip off what someone else is doing. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Just take a successful funnel. Who's a good one to model after, Manny? What's like the best?
Try this guy.
Let me see. Next level. Okay.
Pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, let me. Okay. But yeah, it's kind of ticking me off. I'm like, damn, because these guys are going too far ahead.
He's not sending directly to this page. But if you go click on watch video, so he's not sending traffic. This is his normal page. I think if you click on watch video, it goes to the
this is the landing page.
Yeah.
I don't know about this on top of there.
No, there's an exit pop. You were trying to
it's an exit. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, a good
There's like a 25-minute
thumbnail.
Video. Yeah.
And then you can you, but where's the book, the call?
Well, see our result.
It'll go down and it'll book your call. Let's talk. Book your call. Yeah.
I don't know this one. Oh, that's the book a call. Get price.
Yeah.
I guess why isn't there a button right below the?
Yeah, I think that button is still gonna ask you to book a call. Right below.
This one is just see results. Looks like you have to go past this.
Yeah,
I guess he wants you to scroll through the testimonials to get to book the call.
Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Is this talking about booking the call?
So go to Facebook ads library and see what kind of ads he's running right now. See how much ads he's running, because that's my ultimate litmus test for any kind of page.
Yeah.
How much advertising they're running. And the best way to know how much advertising they're running is to see how many ads they're pushing out there at any given time.
Yeah.
Because if they're pushing new ads all the time, if they're constantly running new ads, yeah, they're doing something right.
Nextlevelbusiness.com.
Maybe. I think it might be Ollie Bilson. Try OLI.
OLI?
Yeah, Ollie, then space Bilson, BIL. BILLS1.
This one, that looks better. Yeah. Okay. 16 ads. So if we look at what these go to, yeah, it goes to there, right? And then, yeah, okay. So obviously, yeah, I mean, if they just model that to book the call, I mean, even if the button's below it, that's fine. But they just need to hack this funnel, basically, right? And it needs to look as professional as that looks.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is like I feel like they're just jumping ahead. I'm not ready for ads. We need to get all this shit straightened out, and I need to improve the VSL to make it better as well.
Man, on camera VSL is just too hard to pull off. Like, just use text on video. Like, it works and it looks cleaner. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, words on screen look very clean.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if we're getting cold traffic, if I show my face either,
because no, but like being able to create the momentum when you're saying and when you're reading it out, it really adds to that speed and momentum compared to on camera. But try everything. Try any variation.
I mean, so what I did with our VSL was like we had the PowerPoint, but then we also like if I really wanted to emphasize a point, I would like record that clip of me like saying it on the person, and then I would just kind of edit it all together. And so you can do a combination of both, and that keeps people's attention. When you kind of switch to face, then text, and face and text. You know what I mean? It's more work and effort, John, but I think it'll increase the watch time like a lot more.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, re-record the sections where you want to be addressing the camera.
But to get your basic baselining first, it's probably worth it just to go with text, just to get a baseline, like something working for you, and then you can keep on. Then you should do what Josh is saying.
Well, I mean, if I just model after what he's doing here in this, this funnel, what Ollie's doing, then that it makes sense, right? Is there a way to see what kind of ad spend that they're spending on these ads?
No.
Okay.
The only dude, you want to see who's really spending money? You hate those people, but if you go back to share your screen, like you want to study freaking copy and advertising, like those fuckers really kill it.
Oh,
V-Shreds.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
like 200 million right now plus annual.
Yeah, but they're so unethical because they're selling complete bullshit. And lie. It's just straight up lies. It's not even close to correct fitness advice. It is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's like selling your soul.
It's like I can make great promises that are not true and get a shit ton of more people to buy. So that's why I don't consider it a credible source, is because I know I could get better results if I was willing to completely be unethical.
Yeah, it's equivalent to the dating space, John, of like guys saying like the 4 words that's going to hypnotize her to drop her panties. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Hang on, Josh. You don't know those 4 words?
I love my mom.
Think clothes.
But I don't know. But I mean, I think that the funnel needs to be fixed first. So, I don't want to drop.
Well, are you guys exhausting your organic traffic already? You feel like it?
No, and that's the thing is too. Like, I don't think that those are. It's being.
What are you guys doing right now with Instagram? Like, how many sales are you getting per week?
There's like a DM outreach. Well, I think on average we're still hitting around 2 sales per week. There was 3 book calls last week and 2 closes, which is good. That's solid as far as close rate. But I feel like there's not enough setter calls that are coming in, and the ones that are coming in, I mean, they might be screening them too hard as well, right? So, and they also were selling it at a lower price too, so which was unnecessary for.
See, the thing is, and the thing is, you're pulling no stops on your organic right now. You're doing YouTube and you're doing Instagram and you're sending emails. All of that, this is where we are now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't push any harder on organic at this point.
I mean, I could push harder on organic. I could like, I think that I could produce more content, better content, right? That's more targeted.
Yeah.
That.
But that
So-
doesn't sound like a convincing argument to me when you say I could do more, because that's not enough to get the real needle moving that you need.
Yeah. I mean, it's on average, it's like 200 clicks per
Week.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up.
See,
some
200
actual
clicks
data.
per week, dude. I mean, 200 clicks per week, if you buy them off of Facebook, that's like $500.
Well, yeah, but those are
Better
Those are
clicks.
not gonna
So let's just
get-
call it $1,000.
1,000. Well, you really think I can get 200 clicks for $1,000? That would be.
Oh yeah, even cheaper.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. $200 for $1,000. Yeah, all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Okay, here's what the let me look at the okay.
Like if you look at your Facebook ad spend or Facebook funnel, it's going to be, let's say, $3 per click or $4 per click, and then you're going to have a 25% opt-in rate. So you're going to probably be around $12 to $16 in terms of per opt-in.
Here's
Very
what we're
well.
basically looking at. Yeah, like basically 200 clicks. But see, look at this. 100. Oh no, this is from Facebook ads. We had 4 book calls. So we had 189 clicks from Facebook ads, right?
And 4 book calls.
Yeah, I think that you're right. Maybe the ad spend was about $600 total, but only 4 book calls. Setter calls like showed up to 0 closing calls with those guys.
Usually what I am trying to do for my VSL right now is get to 8% from clicks to book calls. You're at 2% right now, right?
On what?
No. From leads. How many leads did you get?
Well, they go straight to the book a call page. So
Yeah,
4 leads.
I mean, your funnel is freaking broken. Like,
Yeah, it needs to collect email addresses first, right? That's what you're
First
saying.
step should be landing page hits 189, should lead to 40 or 50 email addresses.
Right.
That's 25%.
Yeah, because those
right
leads are
there.
being fucking wasted.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
out of those 40 leads, they watch the video, and 20% of them reach the end of the video. So maybe out of those 50 leads, like 10%, 10 or 15 people will reach the end of the video and book a, like, out of them, 5, 6 people will book a call.
Yeah, these guys really don't know what they're doing, unfortunately. I mean, they're green, like they're trying and they're getting better, but I
Which
might
one?
need to
The
do
sales team or the Facebook ad team?
the sales team. The Facebook
by the way,
ads guy, I think he knows what he's doing.
I gotta run. I have a 10:30 call.